What's up, comic fans? Fens the Spook coming at you here with a little bit of eBay purchase magic. I got a couple Shadow books in from actually two different fellas. One goes by the name Dusty Comics. The other, I will probably just butcher it even trying it, so I'll throw up a little annotation here. Both were real good purchases, real quality transactions. Again, I'm not, really never going to get into dollars and cents details on what was paid and the details and stuff like that, but it was good deals all around, I hope. Certainly for me. These guys did business the right way, so, I want to throw them out, a little bit of word out there, even if it is on, like I said, one of the smallest YouTube channels on the planet. Anyhow, so this is the Shadow, the Dynamite series that started in 2012 with a little bit of a Garth Ennis run. I've really been getting into the Shadow lately. If you don't know who the Shadow is, then, shame on you. Well, and shame on me too, because I didn't know until about 6 months ago. Well, I knew, but I wasn't a big Shadow guy. I've kind of been getting into it feels like the more and more I collect comics, the further and further back I go. Before you know it, I'll be collecting like Victorian age comics from the 1800s or something. But anyway, so I've been getting into these pulp kind of guys from the 1930s and 40s, and the Shadow just really caught my attention. I'm kind of into darker stuff, noir and things like that. So this fits right in there. So the Shadow is just kind of a crime fighter in the basics. His name is, well, he goes by a couple names, Lamont Cranston or Kent Allard, kind of depending on, who's writing or just whichever persona he chooses to take at the time. He's really kind of, in my opinion, the precursor to Batman. I don't know chronologically who came first. It's probably real close. I think maybe the Shadow was around in the mid-30s. I don't think Batman was actually introduced. I think it's 1939 or 1938. So I think the Shadow has him by a couple years. He used to appear in the Street and Smith magazines, or Smith and Street. I forget which way it went, but they were some magazines. They were just pulp magazines, really cool covers. And yeah, so basically he's a crime fighter. He, kind of, like I said, kind of has that Batman-esque ability to kind of come in and out of the shadows, seemingly impossibly or whatever. He actually does things that are impossible. There's a little bit of like magic to the Shadow. He can, again, depending on kind of who's treating him or whatever, who's doing the writing and stuff, he can do different degrees of mesmerism and kind of mind suggestion and things like that. The cool thing about him is that when he dresses up as the Shadow, he has this really like heinous, sinister laugh that you always, the enemies always hear, the villains always hear right before he drops in and administers his vigilante justice. He does kill pretty, I don't want to say indiscriminately at all, but he is not, he's not like Batman in that sense. He will kill. So Batman and Punisher mixed together, but again, kind of definitely before the Punisher and probably before Batman. So big Shadow fan. So yeah, here's the Dynamite collection, excuse me. Numbers 1 through 22. Got a couple different covers on some of these, and that was, like I said, the two gentlemen I bought from. The first one here, we'll start with number 1. I actually have two number 1s. Let me see if I can get in here and get both of them up. I don't know if I'll keep both or if I'll sell one. Well, I definitely won't sell the one on the left. I bought the one on the left intentionally. It's the Alex Ross number 1. Really awesome, I think, view of the Shadow there. Kind of with that, you can kind of see that protruding nose. That's really a hallmark of the Shadow. It's which is weird because he almost doesn't have that feature when he's Lamont Cranston, but when he's the Shadow, he's got this like protruding nose and wraps his face in that red scarf. And I think that cover, that Alex Ross cover on the left, is just out of control cool. The one on the right's good too. I mean, that's a great cover as well. But I special ordered the Alex Ross cover. Looks real good. Actually had a little bit of a color scrape on it, which again I won't get into it at all really, but it was a little bit of an issue, but the guy was real cool about it. We settled it, no problem at all, and he actually let me keep the book, in part of the deal, and I was able to touch it up with a little bit of frankly, I was going to say color touch, but let's just Sharpie. So because it's my book, I'm never going to sell it to anybody. I'm not going to tell somebody it's restored or whatever. It's nothing like that. It had a little bit of a color break I didn't like, so I touched it up. I've actually never done that before, but considering I have two copies, whatever. You wouldn't notice the difference unless I pointed it out. It's just a small speck, but it was, on a black cover like that, it was driving me crazy. So anyway, there's enough of my OCD, at work there. But there's the Shadow number 1 from Dynamite with the Alex Ross variant cover, so that's cool. we had the Shadow number 2, another really cool interpretation. A little bit more sinister, I think, than the Alex Ross one. The Alex Ross one, the guy almost had like a knowing. You know, the Shadow, he has this knowing thing. Like, that's what he says. He goes, the Shadow knows. You know, he knows the evil that lurks in the hearts of men. He knows people's, not their past necessarily, but he can get a glimpse into your heart and tell whether you're good or bad. He can kind of judge you instantaneously. So, you know, like I said, the Alex Ross one had a real knowing look to him. This one kind of has a real sinister look. Like I said, the Shadow is pretty merciless when he goes after someone. There's the Shadow number 3, Alex Ross. Again, I have 2 covers here. This is the number 3 I ordered from the Dusty Comics, same as the number 1. And this is the number 3 that came with the set that I ordered from the other fella. Who's, again, I apologize that I'm not saying your name, man. I just don't want to butcher it. So, you know, just hopefully you're cool with that. Again, excuse me, not Garth Ennis. The Alex Ross covers are always going to be, I think, better than just the standard covers. But in this case, you know, the Alex Ross on the left, the standard cover on the right. Both of these are probably equally good. I didn't go for the number 3 Alex Ross in particular. It just came with the number 1. It was part of the deal, so that's cool. Excuse me, that's not a number 3. That's a number 2. I'm an idiot. So let me back this up. I have 2 number 2s. I don't have 2 number 3s. I'm not sure if I made a mistake there. I probably did. I tend to order a little indiscriminately on eBay, and oftentimes I get surprised. So I have 2 number 2s, excuse me, not 2 number 3s. So there they are. So in that case, equally cool covers, just with a different take. So anyway, back to number 3 there, with the Shadow crashing through the roof. The only number 3 I have, I should say. Actually, that's not even true. I probably shouldn't really go in. It's going to make me look like an idiot. But here's a little lesson for you kids out there if you're watching, you young eBayers out there. Don't jump on the first set you see. Don't make, you know what I mean? Like, so there was this set here, the 1 through 22, which I didn't even know was out there. I first found this set that was like, you know, 1 through 17, but it was missing a couple, and I made an offer on that. And then, you know, 3 minutes later, I see this great set, 1 through 22. Looks like it's in a lot better shape. The starting price was, you know, good. I don't even remember, honestly, what I paid, but I think it was a bid or something. But anyway, the price was just better, and it was a better deal overall. And then I ended up winning both. So now I have kind of an incomplete Shadow set that I don't really know what to do with. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take it to a con, do a little trading. But this is the set I'm going to keep here. So there's number 4, cool Shadow with the Tommy gun cover. Probably my least favorite cover here, number 5 on the right, unfortunately. Or, well, fortunately, it's always cool. The guy sent me 2 of them. I don't know if that was intentional. He was just like, screw it, I don't want to have a leftover one, or if that was an accident. But number 6 is a real cool cover, kind of showcasing that, you know, a little bit of that weird Shadow, like, you know, the nose, again, is kind of a strange, it's not just, you know, it's protuberant. Like, I don't think that's the right word, or even if it is a word, but almost like Ichabod Crane style, you know what I mean? A real cool one, kind of showcasing his laughter. Like I said, the laughing is a big thing. If you ever listen to the old radio dramas of the Shadow, which are just fantastic, check them out on YouTube. If you like them, you know, you can order the whole set. I did on audiobook. They are really cool. Orson Welles does the voice of the Shadow in some of them, and his laugh is just ridiculously creepy. It's real cool because, again, you know, he's got this sinister laugh, but it's only reserved for the you know, the foes of good or whatever. So here's Shadow number 8, alternate cover, variant cover here from the guy who does. Let me move these; they're kind of getting in the way. The guy who does the Archie Afterlife series, the covers of the Archie Afterlife series. Actually, I think he does the interiors as well. Francavilla. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, you know, just forgive my foolishness. But yeah, always cool. You can kind of, this guy's got a hallmark. He really incorporates oranges and blacks into his covers. Shadow number 9, cool. I don't think there's a cover other than really that number 5 that I'm not really, you know, in love with. Shadow number 10. Oh yeah, I forgot. He has a like a what do you? I don't want to call her his. It's not his girl. Well, it depends on who's writing. Sometimes it's his girlfriend. Sometimes it's just his literally like his Robin, his assistant. Her name's Margot Lane. She's you know, again, it all depends on who's writing him, but you know, she's also a killer. They both do whatever's necessary, but basically she kind of backs him up in situations. She's a real cool, strong feminine role. I actually like Margot Lane a lot. So nice cover with those 2 on it. Number 11, another Francavilla variant cover. So that was why I bought this set from this guy. The number 1 through 22, because just a lot of the cool variants. Not all the Alex Rosses. I'm more into the Alex Ross But I'll never complain about this guy right here. This guy who does the Archie Afterlife cover is just really cool looking. Let me clean this up real quick, then we'll get to those others. Alright. So here we got Shadow number 12. Pretty sure that's an Alex Ross coming at us there. Real good one. I like that one a lot. I just like all the Alex Ross, you know. There's really nothing else to say there. Another Francavilla cover. If I'm pronouncing that right, I probably should stop saying his name in case I'm not. But again, that orange and black. Shadow number 14. Shadow number 15, again, you can see the laughter. That's really a telltale thing of the Shadow. Again, I think the Shadow is just much, much cooler than Batman. Again, no hate on the Batman fans or anything like that. Just personal opinion. I feel like the Shadow was a lot grittier, a lot earlier than Batman was. While Batman was kind of, you know, running around with Robin catching crooks in haunted houses or whatever, you know, the Shadow was, you know, killing opium dealers and, you know, pedophiles and things like that. It's, again, the Garth Ennis stuff is obviously darker than the 30s pulp, you know, naturally, just because the times were, you know, wouldn't allow that kind of stuff on the radio. But it's still pretty cool. He'll still kill people in the early pulp radios pretty gruesomely. Like I said, he kind of appears in and out of the darkness. Here you see him in a spotlight. You know, I haven't actually read this far into the series. I'm only on like number 9 or something, but it's a really good series. They're doing a current series. Bump the camera there. Sorry about that. Doing a current series in Dynamite, The Shadow, they just started, which is really fantastic. I'm excited about that. It's only on issue number 2. Shadow number 17. I don't really like this cover. It almost makes him look like he's like Street Fighter, you know. I don't know, like Ryu exploding in a ball of light, Ryu or whatever. Shadow number 18. They get kind of weirder as it goes on. There are Alex Ross covers toward the end though, I think there's Alex Ross covers throughout the whole series. I just don't have all of them. Shadow number 19. You can see he's like an adventure. Again, it's a pulp adventure series, ultimately. A real cool one. I really like the way he's drawn in that one. I don't even actually know who does that, but a real cool looking one there. I don't know if the lighting's any better in this video. I'm trying something new, so let me know if this lighting sucks. I think it looks a little better to me. The glare seems to be a lot better here. I feel like it's a little more illuminated. The videos aren't as dark, but if it's absolutely horrible, you know, just let me know. There's Shadow 21. You see, he's got this ring. I think I mentioned that earlier. That ring, I actually don't know if I remember it being in the old pulps and in the old radio show, but it can let him speak with the dead, the briefly dead. That is, you know, and it's kind of what helps him memorize people. He'll basically go to a villain he just shot like cold in the head, you know, and say, you know, you can't hide in death, and he'll bring him back just temporarily enough to, you know, weasel any story he needs out of him or whatever he's trying to find. And the ring seems to be a part of that. Again, I'm not a Shadow scholar, so I don't know all the details here. Number 22. Again, with the overly large nose. I really like that detail because he's not a pretty boy. Well, again, it really just depends on who's drawing him, but he's typically not depicted as like a pretty boy. You know, maybe like Bruce Wayne. Shadow Annual, 2013. Real cool cover. It looks like a Vegas strip kind of thing going on there. And then the Shadow Special, which is basically just another excuse to have an annual there to round it off. So, real cool set of Shadow comics I got here from these guys. Again, I'll put their links in the description below as long as they're cool to their eBay stores, as long as they don't mind. Both of them were real good to me. Again, I can't guarantee anything, but I like to spread the word when I have a good eBay experience. And just kind of gives me a chance to review comics as well. So, check them out if you're interested. Thanks for sticking with me. Like, sub, favorite, whatever you want. I actually got a lot of cool stuff coming in off eBay this week. I'm real excited for. So I have some cool videos coming up. And I got some stuff planned for Halloween here in, you know, the next couple months. So hopefully a lot more videos coming soon. Thanks for sticking with me, guys.